Lepantas, Leshore, Native Researcher, Museum, and Center for Indigenous Culture. Today, bringing you the World Elephant Day 2024, which is celebrated every August 12th to raise awareness about the urgent plight of elephants, promoting their protection, and ensuring their survival in the wild. In the wild where also they could freely roam about. So what are the estimated number of elephants in Kenya? In Kenya, we have an estimated number of about 40,000 elephants. And in Tanzania, there are about 60,000 elephants. And where are they found? Where do they roam freely? I will just mention a few areas of protected areas in Kenya, and particularly the Maa areas where we have the Maa counties and communities who also coexist with the elephants freely. Number one is the elephants of Samburu. So these ones are found in Samburu National Reserve, which is one of the national reserves in the north, in the colonial northern reserves. Then we have, again in northern Kenya, Marsabit National Park. And here we had the big elephant, if you remember, with this monument in Nairobi National Park called Muhammad. And that was one of the biggest elephants who went into history, being also a big giant elephants. And then we have the elephants of Mara, also within the Mara National Reserve. And again, we have other elephants living and freely roaming in Ngorongoro area in the northern part of Tanzania. Ngorongoro now is a geopark, given it is cultural and natural diversity, and also landscapes that are very critical for the elephants to live and roam and get their food. But I want now again to get into the elephants of Amboseli. And here we have two types of elephants. Of course, we have the elephants of Selengei. And Faisal, our honorary warden, has shot a 50-minute video film on these elephants of Selengei, really describing to us their survival, their challenges, threats and pressures facing these elephants in Selengei. But again, deeply looking at their behaviors, their characteristics, and what is so unique about the elephants of Selengei. So if you go to YouTube, then you'll surely be able to look at the elephants of Selengei done by an honorary warden, and that's very good for conservation education. We go to Amboseli. These are the elephants I'll talk to today. And as we also celebrate the World Elephant Day, we celebrate these elephants wherever they are. But I want to get a little bit detail with the elephants of Amboseli. And you might ask, why Amboseli? These are super tuskers. They are also transboundary elephants who stand out. Very special elephants with big tusks and also unique gene. Kaumbu today, in a Spice FM presentation to celebrate this day, was describing also these elephants and how people describe them. Like the Turkana described the elephants as thunder, because again of their size and voice and the power they have. Basically, when you look at the elephants of Amboseli, these are the only and the most highly studied elephants ever. Amboseli elephants are unique, very unique, very extraordinary type of elephants. Why? Because they are quite huge elephants with big tusks, like the elephant Tim, who passed on in his old age, who was the only elephant who could bring fear to the Maasai people. And he used to live around Kimana within Amboseli. But again, these elephants are very intelligent, they are very generous, and they train other elephants. when it comes again to alerts and when they are actually in danger. Um, their lifespan is, of course, 60 years for most of the elephants. When now again the set of teeth they have start falling at around 60 years. But why Amboseli? Amboseli is the host and home to these elephants. It's also home to those who study them. We have Dr. Weston of Amboseli Ecosystem Trust, who is the specialist and scientist studying ecology, so that again elephants can relate with the lands and the ecology of the area and the environment. But we have also the other researchers like Cynthia Moss, Joyce Poole, and their research assistant, Katito Soila, who, when you follow them up, they are very interesting people. That even one thing they want to do is that they want, when they die, they say they want to be buried there in Amboseli. So Amboseli is a very, very critical ecosystem. And again, it connects with Zavo. And it also connects with Mailua Matapato ecosystem and the really southern part of Kenya. What are some of the challenges facing elephants today as we celebrate the World Elephant Day? And what efforts should we put in? What should we be attentive to? One is the issue of land loss and biodiversity loss. So there's a lot of land loss because of infrastructure, because of people, the population, people moving from Nairobi and buying land in these savannas and ecosystem. Poaching was actually a big issue, and Kenya has done very, very big milestones in poaching. Well, poaching might still be there, but not as high, and the prevalence is quite low. Some of the elephants also, especially the small babies, will fall into valleys. Some of them will fall into dug the holes. Maybe you have dug a toilet and you have not continued to construct it, then they will fall in and get injured. Childrick Trust is an organization that really does a lot, including Kenya Wildlife Service, who also have a veterinary station in Amboseli and Safo to save some of these injured elephants. We also have hunting in Kenya border Tanzania, and out of the 5 elephants that have been hunted through a licensed by the government of the Republic of Tanzania, because for them they license. 4 of them are actually the tuskers of Amboseli. And this now brings the concern, the worry, the fear when these elephants cross from Kenya to Tanzania. And 51 years are not few years, really, to see an elephant being just shot and a chopper driving them towards where they will shoot them. So it's not something that is globally accepted. It's unethical, actually. The other challenge is, of course, infrastructure. And infrastructure comes with the expansion, with the population. In Amboseli, through Nairobi Metropolitan Services, one of the big city was the city of Amboseli, which was to be built around Meshenani Gate, KWS gates. And that was objected by Amboseli Ecosystem Trust, working with other conservationists and the communities themselves. So they objected for the city because that will interfere with the movement of elephants and also interfered with their corridors. The communities have put a lot of land right now. They have put a lot of land now, about Mailua Matapata have put over 176 acres, 176,000 acres in establishment of 15 community conservancies in the Mailua Matapato. They also call it Elolelai sub-county. Amboseli also too, the biggest group ranch there is Olgulului Olarachu Group Ranch, which actually covers 90% of Amboseli National Park. So far, a number of conservancies are there, and the communities now are benefiting, and we have acquired a number of corridors and special areas that the elephants can cross and pass. This brings in a very good coexistence between wildlife and human beings and people. Another park, basically that is about it. But again, I want to bring to you that Nairobi National Park is also very critical in elephants because this is the host to where thousands and thousands of tusks weighing thousands of kilos were banned by quite our presidents. Moi banned them, Kenyatta banned them in the second part, and even Kibaki banned them. We hope that any other that are in the stores are banned by our Honorable President William Ruto to demonstrate our conservation principles and also to ensure that we safeguard the roaming area of these elephants and also adhere to various treaties and conventions that Kenya signed and ratified. Finally, as I finish, the Maasai and the elephants. So the elephant is again associated with the Maasai people, associated with one clan of the Maasai, because again, different animals are defined within the different animals. What about the elephant? Who is an elephant among the wildlife? So an elephant, according to the story of the Maasai, was a woman like any other woman. And his key roles was to bring firewood home. But apparently, the elephants at one time brought big trees, felled big trees, and brought them in the Manyata, in the Maasai homestead. And therefore, the Maasais could not move in the homestead. The women could not move to milk the cows. So an agreement was done, a big meeting was held, and an agreement was made that the elephant should go back to wild and stay there, but fell trees, and the women will go and fetch the firewood. And indeed, there's a connection here because elephants and the women have a connection. Number one, the women have certain songs, they have a certain language, they have a certain voice and sounds that they talk to elephants that we are here picking firewood. But then again, the elephants, when you look at their reproductive parts, when you look at the anatomy of the elephants, especially their breasts, they actually also are similar to human beings. So that tells you, yes, the elephants were women, and that's why they have a respect for elephants. Human wildlife conflicts, yes, many of them have been killed, sometimes because of retaliation. With the transfer of Amboseli back to the Maasai and county government of Kajiado, no elephant will ever be killed. And put it on record, take to the bank. The Maasais will never, never again kill elephants and even lions. Today, I know we had one lion was killed at Mailu Matapato, and they were identified by a group of teachers who are trained by Giraffe Center, and plans are underway to get the Morans as guardians of these lions. But human wildlife conflicts will go down because a number of systems have been put in place, compensation programs have been put in place, and we celebrate all the conservationists, all the conservation-related NGOs and partners like I4, like WWF, Amboseli Ecosystem Trust, Big Life Foundation, headed by one of the Maasai elders, Bonham. And there is a lot of progress, there is a lot of capacity, including also KWS with their specialized skills and mandate within the wildlife acts. They all come together to safeguard these animals. So as we celebrate the World Elephant Day, let us also celebrate the milestone, the achievements, the efforts. But again, let us also talk to our country. Let us talk to Mama Sulu, our great Mama President, that we can have some discussions and conversations to end elephant hunting in Tanzania. Asholeng, asante sana. God bless Kenya.